Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of October the 2nd through the 8th of 2017. This week we will have a full moon in Aries, and the cards just want to match right up to this. I'll be honest with you. Change is here, and it's being offered up by the universe to allow you to address any remaining challenges that there are. Now, there is a need here, though, because there's a big door that's closing right now. I think there's a kind of a, I don't know how to explain it, like a side thing going on. In other words, whatever it is you've been trying to manifest required that you accomplish something first in order to do that. And I think that's happened, and now you're trying to get to that next part to close that big door. So this is a very big moment in time. But it also, there is that, I think, taking time out, to listen to your own self. Not what does the universe have to say, not what does Cecilia have to say. What do you want? Because this next part of your life is a very important part. So the doors you close, we had those eclipses back in August, right? Permanent doors they've been closing. They're not to be reopened again. So what are your goals? And I think there's a new set of goals that's forming, okay? And changes seem to be happening relatively quickly. Now, like I said, there seems to be some kind of a timeout this week. Maybe there's a day where you just feel hung up on the details and you're trying to work them out. Whatever it is, you overcome it. It's one of those things where you keep at it until you make it happen, okay? This is a very good time for you. You're really grounded, okay, which is wonderful. And you're taking an approach to what stays and what goes, what's mine. It is okay. I mean, this redoing your whole life isn't about, getting rid of everything that you have. You're not starting from scratch. But I believe there is a sorting out that's taking place. It could even be physical. Perhaps you're planning to move and you're sorting through everything that you own, saying, yes, this I want to keep, this I do not. Now, one of the things that is happening here as part of your goals is that overcoming the stress, overcoming the heartache. And, that heartache is associated with years of pain that just, they've culminated in this moment where you're just done and it's time to move on. You're definitely in this process of elimination. So that is a wonderful thing. Now, you're a little bit back and forth, all right? Like sitting on the fence when it comes to certain hopes and dreams. See, I don't think that they materialize just yet. All right. You're getting there. You're definitely working on them this week because you've been provided what it is you need to do. But I think the timing is more so at the new moon, which is not this week, it's on the 19th. Because there's that something that has you feeling tangled and trapped, and it's just, that's it. Your rebirth is coming. And this started back at the equinox on September 22nd. Okay, so you are getting there. Your main focus, and for some of you, this is actually a financial thing, and for others, it's just like that, what makes you feel secure. It doesn't necessarily have to be about money, but it definitely brings emotional fulfillment. You're really, truly, over the course of this month, closing out that cycle of the hard times. Last month really put you in, that mode of getting there. And you really started back at the total solar eclipse in Leo on August 21st. It just was, those first few days afterward were not getting you anywhere because of Saturn still being retrograde. But things are moving along. And as I said, this has been a list that you're checking off. And it kind of needed to be done in a certain order, in a way that you could accomplish everything so as not to have to go back and redo it, that type of thing. What's amazing is how, so many things have been difficult for people, that progress that you're trying to make. And then it's as if magically the doors begin to open. And there you are, voila, you're able to make choices. So you've been going along and going along. I think you've made a lot of progress in the last 4 or 5 weeks, okay? But now you're trying to get finished up. You're trying to really make it happen. Like, how can I totally close out this chapter of life? And it will be done. So it won't be something like when we're talking next year, smack me if I even bring it up, because I don't think it's going to be a topic of conversation. If your plans of any type have created discord among co-workers, family members, this would be a good week to work on, bridging that gap and putting everything back together again, if need be. I mean, you have to remember that eclipses have totally removed some people from your life, and others within 6 months of the eclipse will also be gone. So, there's a lot of change there, but it appears to me that there is at least one relationship that everybody needs to make sure is okay. It wasn't intended, to hurt someone or to do anything that would cause them harm. So, there's sort of a truce that's going on there, a renewal, if you will. Your hopes and dreams are getting closer and closer by the day. I really think, this time next month, maybe a little after, sometime in November, that you're really going to feel the change where, patience has allowed you to manifest what you want. So you don't have too much further to go with this. In other words, you are making progress. Even if you feel some days like you're just trudging along, it's all karmic, to be honest with you. Things are definitely trying to balance out. I still think more so next month than this month, but that you're ready for the adventure. There's a difference here. Like before I even met you, going back how many years, you were content to be in that life, no matter how bad it was. All right, no matter what was going wrong. The difference is now is that you've allowed so much to be gone. And I think that with this, this full moon this week, it's, I always think of things like it's the beginning, okay? So it's the first, Aries is the first sign. So this is the first full moon, like maybe you have another cycle that's coming in, because you're able to shed something and put an end to something this week within the scope of this full moon. And that's what I'm saying. Your attitude has changed. You are at this point excited about the idea of not having anything to do with that old life anymore. And that's a major, major step, okay? I think it's a feel-good thing too as well. So, the more distance that's put between you and those hard times, yeah, the better off you'll be. I'm telling you, the doors are opening. They're opening over these next couple of months, and it's going to be exciting. You're going to see that there are new things that are coming. Even next week, the week after, whatever's coming in, like in these next 2 weeks, there's quite a bit of opportunity and direction that's there. And what's interesting is that all of your wishes, all of your hopes and dreams, your issues, everything, the things that you've been working on, they're starting to pay off. They keep on paying off. That's what's really, it's that overcoming. And that's it. You're overcoming the hard times where you're totally ending them, and you're going to stop thinking about all of that. Like, finally. That's a big finally, because what I see here is that you feel like you're in a much better position, and the change just keeps going forward. Now, what's also interesting is, I want to say between the new moon this month and the month of March, you just keep marching forward with your change. There is no doubt in my mind, okay? by March, you're just like, this is wonderful. Look at what I'm creating. I think every once in a while, the doubt wants to creep in. You know, just the days when you're tired and you come home and maybe it wasn't as good a day as some of the others, and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't going to work out. Maybe do it. You have the stamina. Look at how many times you have been knocked down and you have gotten back up again, and everything that you have survived. Now is definitely not the time to give up. Not when you are so close. And see, this is the thing. When people ask me about the story and they think that the story has been pushed back, it hasn't been pushed back. We've been working together through all of the difficult times. And this week is showing that you're putting an end to years worth of agony, and that this whole new life is emerging for you. But you don't just like open a door and you're in it. Now you're going about the wonderful fun of creating it. And I think that March is going to be, the next big cycle that's coming in. Something that goes like March, April, May, June. And then you're just standing there going, and it's given me the chills to say it. Like, wow, how did all this happen? How did I make it this far? I'm telling you, the time is coming when you never think about all those bad memories, all those things that happened to you. No, unless you want to share your experiences with someone else to show them that truly you can overcome hard times, because you've come really far, all right? And you're going even further. That's the best part. It's kind of like, especially for those who've experienced like years and years of hardship. Not saying necessarily financial, but just hardship. Like, you could be a happy person, but everything always seems to go wrong. And now you're going to get to the part where all those stressful things seem to stop happening. And that's not to say that there's never stress, but that you're able to handle it better because life itself has so greatly improved. And that's the phase that you're in. I kind of call it like your turn. Like, it's your turn to be happy. It's your turn to have the balance and the fairness that you need, the security, within your close-knit community, whatever that is, whether it's work, family, or, friends themselves. So you're just moving on from all of it. And, I'm looking here, and I'd have to say, we have a full moon this week, and I've been mentioning November for a while. So I want to say the full moon in November. And that's the first time I've brought that up. There is definitely a change at that point that allows you to step up and say, okay. And like where you're bursting onto the scene in charge. You've been looking for abundance. Your abundance is there. The things smoothing out. You trusted in the journey. You trusted in the journey. So look at the accomplishments here. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I see the hand of the universe coming in and helping you. But it's all about, have you been paying attention? And have you been allowing yourself to be guided? Or did you stay so focused on one thing that you missed out on the opportunity? I do think that there are what some of you may have called betrayals that sting for a little while. They could have happened a while back, but it's just that, like, as you move on from that phase of life into a better part, I think there's occasional reminders there. But that's the thing, is that you're putting your focus toward your life, toward you. We always talk about that new you, the new identity. There are new relationships coming in, new powerful choices that are coming in, and the ability to overcome whatever it is that you feel has restricted you, okay? And you're not taking it anymore. You're just like bam, 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 going right along and saying, that's it. I eliminate whatever does not work. I remove whatever does not work. Whatever word you want to use, and you're going over that list with a fine-tooth comb. Because, like I said, there's no backtracking here. Not this time around. You are taking charge. Like, seizing your power, kind of taking charge. And that's it. You're back in control. And you're in the driver's seat of your own life. That hasn't felt that way in a really long time, even with all of the improvements that you've managed to make. There was always something that was hanging over your head, and that's what you're saying this week. Okay, that's it. I'm done. If you had a wish, that was it. Let's get rid of this obstacle. This obstacle is holding me back from moving forward and really moving on into a new life. So, yeah, you're doing it. You are doing it. I'm curious to see, as we do each week, to see where it puts us along the path, because this isn't, you know, it's not showing it up as something that's really fast, but it's steady and it keeps on happening. It's like once the doors start to open, you know, things get a little bit easier to do. And this actually started easing up back at last month's full moon in Pisces. So, you know, there you have it. You're on your way. And I don't even know. I've not seen anything in my mind that goes past June. Not yet. Okay. But we have a lot to talk about between now and June, and see where it takes everyone and what type of life you're really stepping into, because it's only bound to get better from this point. So I want to thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you here again real soon. Take care.